Hi there, Coach Sage of VO2max Productions here with a race recap of the TRANSVULCANIA Ultramarathon. Sandy and I just got back from Spain last night actually, and a great trip out there as always. Really love the culture and the people, and it's a really special race. That's why I've done it 3 times. And I'm gonna do a blog recap of this written blog on my website, sagecanaday.com. There'll be pictures on there. I'm not gonna write very much though, because most of the report's gonna be in here, because I like making videos. I'm not a good writer. But we'll get into the details, some blow by blow of the race, what I learned, as well as training forward heading into Western States now, because that'll be the next big event that I need to build up to. But yeah, quick recap. Again, I was 3rd place for the 3rd year, not in a row, but for the 3rd year there at the TRANSVULCANIA race, and always a really loaded field. Congrats to the champion. Luis Alberto Hernando ran an amazing race. He's won the race 3 times now and finished ahead of Kilian Jornet. Also has the course record there. Super tough athlete, probably the best climber in the business, and super good at descending, and that's where he really put a lot of time on me. As well as the other guy who finished ahead of me, French ultra runner Nicolas Martin, ran really smart. Great race, great performance for him. I think probably his top ultra trail performance. So yeah, it was, you know, I would be lying if I said it wasn't a little bit bittersweet, because I am a little bit disappointed. I'm really happy to be on the podium again, and being on a podium is just a huge honor there in this race. But you know, it's kind of frustrating to only be 3rd place again, and to not increase, at least be 2nd place or be closer to the win. And then the time goal kind of went out the window for me. That's the other factor, is looking at time goals, because the course changed. They added about 600 or 700 feet of climbing, I'd say, just looking at Strava. And the distance, there was an extra dip off the trail, off the GR 131, down to this aid station and back. It added on maybe 1 kilometer in distance, and in that climbing it was really steep, rocky, like switchback, built-in trail, power hiking slog, which I am not as efficient on. So that was kind of a tough break. But you know, overall, I think, so you throw the time goal out the window, the times are slower, even though the weather was cooler. And I executed exactly what I wanted to do. The race plan, very similar to prior years, where I just kind of go by feel, but I find myself in the lead climbing, and I wanted to lead at the top of the climb, because I think it's my best strategy, and it's the only chance to try to win the race for me. And so if I'm not leading at the top, or have a big cushion at the top, I don't have a shot at winning or getting 2nd. And that was the case again, but I still got 3rd. And so yeah, basically it's consistent. And it's good to have that consistency, but we want consistent variation. We want consistent progress. And you know, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been disastrous. It could have really tanked and you know, rigged up and had really low energy and bonked really hard, which wasn't the case. I could have had really bad quad cramps on the downhill. I thought I would have to walk based on how I felt, but we'll get into the downhill suffering in a bit. But it, you know, it could have been better, and it could have just been marginal better. It's very hard, I think, based on my training background. I've been involved in the sport for 17 years, training year round now. So it's like, how much of a higher level can I train at to get better? But I definitely see improvements that I need to work on for not just this race, but also all future races, as well as future improvement. And you know, it reminded me a lot about my consistency in the road marathon quest, trying to qualify for the Olympic trials last year, US Olympic trials. I didn't mean to run 4 marathons all within a minute of each other. I didn't want to do that, but I did. And so to run, you know, 4 road marathons, 2:19:50 average, all between 2:19:12 and 2:20:30, in a 10-month span, that is consistent, but again, consistently too slow, and a consistent missing of my goal. So it's good to have that consistency and to feel good and to know that you could perform. But if you want to notch it up to next level, sometimes you have to take more risks in training, as well as racing, as well as find areas for improvement. So we learn from our past mistakes, look forward to forward progress. And you know, with your age, maybe it's feeling healthier or getting a more even distribution of energy, being healthier in your life overall, or winning an age group, or beating your personal best on a certain course, or even just reaching the finish line, because that's always the first goal, is going the distance, and it definitely will be heading into Western States. But rewind a bit, going into the race, I was leading on the climb. I think looking at the Strava data, looking at the Strava segments, I actually did climb better after the 15-mile mark. So first big aid station that you get crew access was El Pilar at mile 15. I hit it on the nose to the minute, probably the nearest second almost, of what I've always split through El Pilar. So again, didn't mean to do it, very consistent. But after that, there's an hour-long segment above that I did climb faster on this year than I have in prior years. And it's a part where I've actually suffered more in prior years, because it's where Luis and Kilian Jornet usually pass me around the 22-23 mile mark. Whereas this year I was able to actually hold on until the very high point of the race, the top of the climb, 50K in, after 31 miles and about 12,000 feet of climbing, you hit Roque de los Muchachos, highest point, great volcanic view of the island. Well, the whole island's a volcano. But I was about 30 seconds ahead of Luis Alberto, and I'm looking over my shoulder and he's stalking me, and it was scary. But I made it to the lead at the highest point, which was a first for me, because usually Kilian and Luis passed me even before the top. So consistent energy levels, not feeling as stressed, I guess, this year. So that was a positive. That was a big positive. You got to take away good positive things. And then Nicholas Martin was climbing really well. I've only seen Kilian Jornet and Luis hit that first 5 hours that hard before when I've raced there. And so, he was a minute or two back only at that point, and they quickly passed me. Luis actually passed me through the top aid station and opened up going down the more runnable sections of the downhill, and then Nicholas came flying by me maybe 5K later, 4K later, and I didn't stand a chance. Those guys ran the descent way faster than me. And the negative was, looking at Strava Downhill, the big downhill segment at TRANSVULCANIA, I went about 3 or 4 minutes slower than I have in prior years, and it was cooler. Again, I knew I wasn't descending well. I felt like I was really falling apart on the descents this year, and part of it's my fault. I didn't work on fast targeted descents enough in training for this race. Usually I did do a couple of those. If you look at my Green Mountain Strava descent of Gregory Canyon, Green Mountain, and Boulder, I did a couple really hard downhill technical sections in prior years, whereas this year I didn't do it. It's kind of an injury risk. I don't like doing downhills. I need to do more downhills, especially for Western States. So big learning experience there. The quads were totally trashed, and I was worried that I might start walking on the downhills because it was pretty bad. But I regrouped. I was able to accelerate the final descent on the Tezacorte switchbacks. The last 700 feet of vertical, the last 3/4 of a mile of the descent. This is like a 10-mile descent where you go from 8,000 feet to sea level. I actually descended that really fast relative to my prior performances. I think I got the Strava course record, actually, at least for those on Strava, of the last descent into Tezacorte, the port of Tezacorte. So I was proud of that, and it kind of showed that, maybe I could have descended a little bit faster if I was a little more motivated. But Luis and Nicholas were gone at that point, and I'm holding on for third, looking over my shoulder, not knowing, what the time gap was behind me. But again, with the fast start, it opens up the field a lot. There's a lot of people getting spread out. So, that worked in my favor. But, a tough race, really do want to improve. The other thing I saw going into this year is I didn't race Lake Sonoma, which I thought was a really good thing because I thought it would help me. It didn't seem to help me that much, though. I think this training stimulus you get from doing a hard long run, even an over-distance long run race like Lake Sonoma, which is not specific to TRANSVULCANIA at all, I do benefit from that. And what I saw in my own training was, I didn't do Lake Sonoma. I didn't do any long runs over 22 miles in length going into this 45-mile ultra race. And that was also a mistake. I was trying to get the mileage up to 120 miles a week, and I neglected doing some longer runs in the 25, 28 mile range, which I probably should have done. And I just didn't do it. I did a lot of climbing. I did the 22, 20 mile long runs. but just kind of a handful of those, and only a handful of weeks over 110 miles per week. So still building the base, so to speak, for Western States. And the transition into Western States, what I've learned is, got to work on the runnable downhill, got to be able to fly on downhills, get the quads calloused for the downhills, much like training for the Boston Marathon or training for Comrades, which I've messed up before in the past. Boston I was proud of though, because that's a downhill marathon course. Western States, you need to be able to run the downhills. It's runnable downhill and it's 100 miles. But also extend the long run, make sure you have the leg strength. So I'm gonna get my long run up over 28, 30 miles in distance. And I don't have a lot of time, but I do have to do that, I think, to perform at the level I want to at the Western States 100. So those are lessons learned. Again, it's a tough balance with overtraining, over racing, and staying healthy, eating healthy, getting enough sleep. And I was lucky to go into TRANSVULCANIA really healthy. Sandy and I were eating at this nice plant-based vegan restaurant we found in La Palma, Santa Cruz. Veg Art Diet. You gotta check it out when you're there, right up the road from the H10 hotel. Really great thing. I was eating all these quinoa burgers, beet burgers, salads, wraps. Great source of energy going into the race. Energy felt great all day. I was taking V-Fuel gels, as well as, just staying on top of hydration, loading up on all sorts of bananas, mainly at the aid station. Sandy actually missed me at El Pilar. The bus got there like 2 minutes too late, so I was out of my V-Fuel gels, but then I started grabbing bananas, and then I was able to get my V-Fuel gels back again at the top. Very fortunate. Chris Vargo's brother was crewing for Chris Vargo and Alicia, and he was able to take what Sandy gave him up to the top, because it's hard to get around that island to crew for people. So I was really lucky that he came through that. Thank you, Chris's brother. And great race to Chris Vargo and Alicia Shea, other top Americans in the race. Really great performances all around. But yeah, so transitioning into Western States, I want to announce there's going to be a film project that Sandy and I are kind of working on. Stay tuned for that announcement in the coming days. We'll have a post on our sagerunning.com coaching website about that, heading into Western States. And it's just been a really great journey, and I felt super fortunate to be able to have these opportunities, to be able to travel and race internationally, and to be able to train at this level and make videos and share them with you guys. So it's all due to viewers like you and the support of the running community, all you runners, and the positive comments, the Patreon donations, the following on social media. It all makes this possible, and it's not something I take for granted at all. Every day I wake up and I pinch myself and I'm like, you're so lucky. This is living your dream. It's actually better than I ever expected. So I am very, very fortunate, but it is thanks to the generosity of the running community. So thank you guys. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I really hope that you found a way, hopefully maybe through this channel, through learning things through other runners, maybe in the community, to hopefully benefit your health and your running and enjoyment of the sport, because it's given me so much and I really can't give enough back. So it's a great community to be a part of. So thank you guys. Thank you. It's really great. So hope your spring training's going well. Definitely stay tuned for more training talks on this site, as well as adventure run videos and scenery I get from all over, as well as the announcement of our film project. We'll probably create a Facebook page as well. More information about that coming your way. So really thank you for all the support. I'm definitely going to post more vlogs heading into Western States here. So also stay tuned for that. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter at Sage Canaday. I have an athlete fan page on Facebook, Sage Canaday fan page. And thanks to all the Patreon supporters too for really making this possible, and for letting me try to up my film game here. Still have a lot of work to do. So thank you. Hope your spring training or fall training is going well, and stay tuned for more via 2Max Productions.